Super Bowl 60, the Bad Bunny you've been waiting for. This is the Alligator News Roundup. Thanks for joining us. Plus, genius student confesses vandalism to ChatGPT. More genius students engaged in the thrill of subway surfing. And who would James Bond be without his Walther? Here we go.
Number 4. Breitbart. Bad Bunny kicks off SNL 51st season mocking his Super Bowl critics. You have 4 months to learn Spanish.
Can you say tone deaf or what? The National Football League, that bastion of manliness on display, has rightly become the be-all and end-all of American civic pride, even if you can't distinguish a Philadelphia Eagle from a New York Jet. The Star-Spangled Banner, the military flyovers, the players' supreme muscle conditioning, and the astonishingly intricate physical movements on the gridiron make for awesome entertainment. The Super Bowl has become the most watched television event ever, now eclipsing the Apollo 11 moon landing from 50 years ago. The audience is everyone, drawn to the excitement of watching macho men at the top of their masculinity compete head-to-head with highly tuned brawn and brain. A huge subtext of the drama is American patriotism underlying the event. To satisfy that basic primal urge to view competent American men displaying shocking levels of manliness, NFL leadership has chosen a cross-dressing, America-rejecting male singer for the halftime show at Super Bowl 60. Bad Bunny, née Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio, is a Puerto Rican performer who publicly excoriates U.S. government policy on immigration enforcement. He has previously said he will not tour in the U.S. because of the risk that his fans will be arrested by ICE. It now appears that Immigration and Customs Enforcement will be on hand outside the Santa Clara, California Stadium in February to do just that. Apparently, the appeal of appearing before the largest TV audience ever and being at the center of what promises to be an enormous legal and perhaps physical confrontation has caused Bad Bunny to change his mind. Press is everything. So congratulations, NFL. You have set up a civil clash of historic proportions by completely disrespecting your key fans. Heaven forbid the NFL would select a stirring patriotic performer for halftime this year. House Speaker Mike Johnson suggested Lee Greenwood. I suppose that would have been seen as divisive, whereas Bad Bunny is unifying.
Number 3. The Independent. Vandal charged after confessing crime to ChatGPT.
One of the promising up-and-coming stars of Gen Z, those born after 1996, is a sophomore at Missouri State University, or he was until his latest run-in with university discipline. The youngster, whom I shall call RS, decided it would be entertaining to smash windows and dent bodywork on cars in the university parking lot. Intelligently, he did this late at night so as to avoid detection. Clever, huh? RS damaged some 17 vehicles with a baseball bat or something, causing many thousands of dollars damage. It was no doubt a real rush. He wisely hid his face from security cameras. Now, this was the same method he used last year as a freshman to wreak the same havoc. At that time, he was not caught. But last year, artificial intelligence was not nearly so advanced as it is now. And so, when he was done with this year's escapade, RS felt it would be prudent to determine whether there were any soft spots in his personal shroud of security. I suppose that could have been done beforehand, but whatever. RS logged onto his ChatGPT account from his smartphone, described what he had done, explained that he had done the same thing last year, and inquired of Chat whether he had any exposure to detection. ChatGPT offered the reasonable answers one might expect. If you avoided security cameras, kept your face hidden, did not leave incriminating evidence behind, etc., you should be golden. All of which was true and no doubt comforting to our sophomore, right up until university police arrested him and asked permission to look at his mobile phone. RS granted permission. Genius. And investigators found the entire thread of his conversation with ChatGPT. An AI system, it seems, is neither attorney, nor professional therapist, nor priest. If it were any of the above, there might be a legal presumption of confidentiality, but alas, the industry is too new for that. According to Sam Altman of OpenAI, if you go talk to ChatGPT about your most sensitive stuff, and then there's like a lawsuit, we could be required to produce that. For the record, Sam Altman thinks his AI platform should have the same protections as attorneys or therapists or priests, but that is not today's reality, which is an unfortunate turn of events for young RS. I would bemoan the bright future the sophomore had before him, which is now badly scarred, but given the kid's choice of entertaining nocturnal activities, I'm not really sure it was all that bright to begin with.
Number 2. NBC New York. NYC kids keep dying while subway surfing. After 2 more, calls to action rise.
This is as tragic as it is predictable. Subway surfing has been a little-known pastime in New York City for the last century, but the rise of social media videos has sparked a significant recent upswing in interest. Riders, exclusively teens and preteens, access the space between cars to climb onto the roof of the moving train. Think cowboy movies involving locomotives. There, they lean into the wind and enjoy the sense of freedom and the thrill of an illicit activity until they suddenly encounter an unexpected low-hanging steel beam. Some 300,000 teens ride the subways in the Big Apple each day, and given the popularity and excitement of subway surfing, the body count is surprisingly low. In the last 2 years, there have been less than a dozen fatalities related to the sport. Police are on the lookout, of course, and with the cooperation of the Transit Authority have employed electronic sensors and drones to detect unlawful rooftop riding. But the police, as we know, cannot be everywhere, and I suspect the thrill of evading the cops and posting a GoPro video to TikTok is an overwhelming incentive. Many other solutions have been proposed, mostly taking the form of how to make climbing onto the roof impossible. Predictably, such modifications have met with failure where highly motivated teens are involved, and any proposed solution will cost money, which will raise the fare of the subway ride. Not to be a cynic, but I suspect that adult riders who have no interest in subway surfing will be less than motivated to fix a problem endangering no one but the perpetrator and firmly rooted in stupidity. Now, the 2 girls who died most recently were 12 and 13 years old enough to climb vigorously, but too young to grasp the danger.
Number 1. Variety. Amazon Prime Video removed guns from James Bond posters, then stealthily took artwork down after online backlash.
One of the compelling reasons for James Bond aficionados to own a poster-sized picture of their hero is to see him holding his gun. Pierce Brosnan looks very boss with arms folded and the pistol held aloft in his right hand. Sean Connery is always one smooth operator. There is a delightful scene in Dr. No where Bond's armorer, a Major Boothroyd, is asked what he thinks of 007's compact 25 caliber pistol. He answers, "Ladies' gun, sir." And the Beretta 418 is subsequently replaced with a Walther PPK chambered in 32 caliber ACP. Most American gun enthusiasts turn up their noses at such a lightweight round for personal protection, but the Walther nevertheless became the iconic Bond carry gun of choice. But the guns. Firearms have fallen so far out of favor with a certain portion of American consumers that Amazon decided the guns should be erased from the posters they offered for sale. It was no doubt a Photoshopper's delight, browsing through Brosnan, Connery, Roger Moore, Daniel Craig, George Lazenby, Timothy Dalton, and others, airbrushing out the Berettas and Walthers pixel by pixel. The posters thus sanitized, Amazon discovered consumers hated them. Prime Video UK has now removed the gunless posters and replaced them with still photos of James Bond, but portrayed in poses where he was not holding a gun at all. This does not bode well for Her Majesty's Secret Service, or for the security of merry old England, or even for the safety of Western civilization. Spectre, however, may find itself suddenly emboldened as it goes about its dastardly plots opposed by an agent who looks great in a tuxedo, but is regrettably unarmed when it counts. And thanks for joining the Alligator News Roundup for Friday, October 10, 2025. Break out that old revolver or the .22 rifle and go plinking this weekend. Take your child or grandchild, or somebody else's child or grandchild, with parental permission, of course, and show them how it's done. Firearms are intrinsically dangerous, that's why they were made after all, which is all the more reason to introduce a Gen Zer to them. It sure beats unsupervised subway surfing. Have a good weekend.
Thanks for joining the Alligator News Roundup. where you can get all the news you really need, and none you don't. See you next week.